What's up, and welcome back to more Silo. This is season 3, episode 2, and we've got dual storylines running. So, in the past, because it's the new storyline, but it's the past that happened. We've got Richard, the representative, who is trying to figure out what happened to his sister Charlotte, the air fighter pilot. At the end of last episode, we saw that Charlotte was in a plane crash. There was some black goo, and all of a sudden, they recovered her body, and Richard is taken to this specific facility for people for memory care purposes, and she does not remember him, and we left it at that. So in this episode, he realizes and talks to the doctor that's running this facility, and he says, "I'm sorry, I'm the reason. I'm the reason the Charlotte doesn't remember anything." He doesn't talk like that, but he should, because that sounds very statesman-like. Like a kindly old Southern gentleman. I don't know what that voice was, but I pulled it to give you a little bit of entertainment while you listen to my recap. Subscribe. So Richard finds out from the doctor that part of what he does is he helps suppress traumatic memories for people. So like in the case of Charlotte, they maybe overcorrected a little bit, and in the process she lost more memories than necessary, because it sort of spider webs out from the thing, and since he knew about it or whatever, then I guess he ended up collateral, and he was like, well, just keep telling her stories and she'll remember. I was like, The Notebook? Is this The Notebook? Anyway, so she she doesn't remember anything because of this brain white fluid thing, which parallels the Juliet storyline, because she didn't remember either. So but like fragments keep coming back to them. It's like you can't fully suppress it. They have little fragments, and sometimes, yeah, when they hear something and they are reminded of something, like in Charlotte's timeline, the journalist that Richard met with was also meeting with Charlotte because Charlotte was trying to be a whistleblower. So she goes to visit Charlotte, and when she starts bringing things up, it sparks a little bit of a PTSD moment, because Charlotte remembers things out of context and starts panicking. So she does get through a little bit. Apparently, if you do talk about certain things, you will trigger flashes of memory. So in the Silo storyline, Juliet last received that little capsule, and in this episode, we learn it's from Camille, because it was a test of Juliet's loyalty, and so, or at least Camille was aware of it, and the I don't know, the AI or the voice or whatever on the whatever she keeps talking to was also aware of it and said it's not good that she didn't tell her about it, because Juliet needs to trust Camille implicitly in order for this to work. We get into this whole thing with Camille and the voice about how they have how this whole thing has worked with other silos, and how they've had to handle things with other silos, and they do have in place this like memory wipe fluid for like everybody. They can erase everybody's memory if they have to, but it looked like when Juliet returned that the calm that she brought to the silo was more favorable than them doing anything else. So they're trying to ride in the positive range, but they have to keep Juliet subdued in order to keep them from erasing the memories of everybody in the silo. So that's what Camille's working to do with Juliet, but Juliet is still trying to figure out why she only has pieces of her memory left, and why certain people seem weird around her. So she wants to go down to the download to see Martha Walker, but luckily for her and for the guy who would have had to lower her on a rope, Walker came up top. So to get medical supplies. So she's already up there. So she gets to talk to Walker one-on-one by herself, and they have a pretty solid conversation. And Walker's like, the girl that I knew, when everybody went left, she went right. And the frustrating thing about it is every time she ended up being right about it, like if you did one thing, if everybody did one thing, you did the other thing, and then you ended up being right about it. And it was so annoying. So trust your gut instinct, because Juliet's trying to figure out if she follows the note or not. But she had to slip out of her guard protection in order to make this happen. And so she also gets sort of cornered by some, I forget which characters they were, but they were like down a conspiracy theory route of, what did you see when you were outside? You went over the hill, what did you see? And she's like, I same thing you saw. I don't know, I went into but do you actually remember it, or is that what they told you? So, and then it's also revealed through Paul that part of the people who are this like the graffiti rabble rouser crew that are part of the uprising is his wife as part of that, because she saw the page from the book that showed that the world used to be beautiful, and so she's running around causing trouble, and he's the sheriff. So it's awkward when they get home, and he's like, don't, believe me, the irony is not lost on me that I'm rewriting the pact. So but yeah, they don't necessarily see eye to eye, and she shushes him too, like they're trying to, and your daughter's in the other room. You're the one that's running around out there like a crazy person. So yeah, Juliet looks up at the stars and wonders and has like flashback things. So then she has a little, like, before she goes back to her room, she has a little like one-on-one with with her security detail that says, hey, I know sometimes you need to be by yourself. If you ever need to slip away, just let me know and I'll make it happen. Just don't put me in a situation where like that again. And she's like, well, what about Camille? And he's like, let me worry about that. So he's like, you're my mayor. And so she's got a lot of support around her, so she may be able to get away in the future. But otherwise, it seems as though people have noticed that she's not taking her meds. There's like a nurse that that sneaks into her room and uses the tool to find because she's not taking her pills. Anyway, so and Camille notes the little hint of smoke in the room at the beginning, and that's the part of the lie, is like, it's not good that she lied to you. She smells the smoke because she burned. And Juliet was like, I microwave some pizza. Like, you just have pizza in a microwave? That's amazing. I don't know why I would just do that all the time. I'd be like, let's microwave pizza. We're in a silo. Who cares? So, but my mayoral right would be pizza. I don't want to eat your shitty chowder. So I don't know that we learned a ton, but we did start to explain a little bit, because Silo kind of time jumped and then split into two storylines. So they're explaining a little bit about the memory loss stuff and how that works. And that's kind of the basis for this episode, is to do a little bit of explaining before we advance the plot. We got to walk backward before we can walk forward again. So reinforcing the fact that Juliet didn't really remember anything. She didn't Walker's annoyed that she doesn't remember her after all the time they spent together, like, really, you don't remember anything? She even gives her like a multi-tool in case, that jogs her memory. But they do talk about how she runs into someone who was working on the guard, and he talks about how they found, when everything was going down, they found Lucas Kyle, who was spinning a little bit of a story about this thing that he found and was claiming to be the guy's shadow, and that they had him in detention. So it's possible, and you know, that we see Lucas in the next episode, that the mayor's going to go find a way to talk to Lucas, because I guess they do have Lucas, even though they're telling the public that they don't have Lucas. He's still on the lam. So I wonder what other secrets are being kept. Anyway, Silo, excellent audio description. It's more of an establishing episode than anything else. It's just helping to flesh out uh, how we got here between season 2 and season 3 in terms of Juliet and her memory, and what this memory wipe type stuff does, and what its potential is, and seeing it across both storylines at the same time. So I'm so far incredibly happy with Silo, as I have been for the first 2 seasons, moving into the 3rd season. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Anyway, I don't grade until the end of season. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the other side.